Thank you for returning to our channel. It was like a dream when he entered her life. She was 40 and recovering from a divorce. He promised her everything and was charming at the age of 25. However, the most talked about affair in Hollywood came to an end in Demi Moore's darkest period. At 62, she is now finally sharing the entire story. The secret miscarriage they concealed. She regrets the threesomes and the addiction that almost took her life. In reality, this is what transpired between Demi and Ashton. Roswell, New Mexico, is where Demi Moore was born on November 11, 1962. She had a tough life from the beginning. After her father abandoned her before she was even born, her mother found it difficult to care for her. Things worsened when Demi had a terrible betrayal at the age of 15. She described how her mother let an older man abuse her for $500 in her memoir. She had severe emotional wounds from this that persisted for years. Her family was in disarray. The family was always on the move, and both of her parents were heavy drinkers. At the age of 14, Demi had experienced instability and a lack of security more than 30 times. At the age of 12, she went through something that no child should go through. Her mother made an attempt on her own life. Using her little hands, Demi had to pry pills from her mother's mouth as her stepfather restrained her. She had to grow up too fast in that moment. For Demi, school wasn't any better. In addition to having a problem that required eye surgery, she battled dyslexia. She decided to live alone after dropping out of school at the age of 16. To make ends meet, she took on a variety of professions, such as debt collection and modeling. She wanted to move on from her difficult history, so she married rock musician Demi Moore. However, the union was short-lived, 4 years. In spite of all, Demi persisted. She persisted in her quest for a better future. Demi had her first big break at the age of 19. She was chosen to play journalist Jackie Templeton on the soap drama General Hospital. More than 1,000 actresses applied for the position. However, Demi was unique. Her earnings were only $750 each show. This role, however, was just the start of something larger. In contrast to other women on television at the time, Jackie, her character, was powerful and resolute. Viewers and producers were both impressed by Demi's performance. Off-screen, Demi had a major issue. Addiction was a problem for her. She frequently threw days-long parties. When Joel Schumacher, her director, recognized her talent, he took over. By making arrangements for someone to be with her constantly when she filmed her next major movie, St. Elmo's Fire, he helped her stay sober. She was able to change her life with this help. St. Elmo's Fire, in which Demi featured, was a tremendous hit in 1985. The film, which also starred Rob Lowe and Emilio Estevez, was about a group of friends approaching maturity. Demi portrayed Jules, a party girl who had her own problems, a character that reflected some of her own difficulties in real life. It wasn't simple to get the part, though. Joel Schumacher threatened to cut her role unless she became sober. Demi decided to battle her addiction, and she was successful. Even a person to accompany her during filming was paid for by the studio to ensure she stayed on course. Demi joined the Brat Pack in the movie. A bunch of up-and-coming young artists in the 1980s. Despite the actors' distaste for the word, it helped them gain notoriety and recognition. Demi's role in St. Elmo's Fire helped her get more recognition. She soon became one of the most well-known figures in Hollywood after starring in films like Ghost and About Last Night. People continue to discuss the Bratz Pack years later. Bratz, a documentary, debuted in 2024. Whereby Demi and her co-stars considered that time period. In an attempt to bring the original cast, including Demi, back together, there are even rumors of a St. Elmo's Fire sequel. In 1990, Demi Moore shot to fame with the film Ghost. Even though the movie only had a $22 to $23 million budget, it was a huge smash, earning $505.7 million worldwide. It became the third highest-grossing film ever at the time and the highest-grossing film of 1990. It was so popular that in 1991 it was the most rented DVD in the United States. Moore's portrayal of Molly Jensen in Ghost had a profound effect on viewers. Set to Unchained Melody, Patrick Swayze's pottery wheel scene became a classic. This remains one of the most well-known scenes in film history. In the movie, her short hairstyle also became popular worldwide, and ladies all over the world started to imitate it. There was also a personal aspect to Moore's accomplishment with the film. Even though Ghost was the biggest hit at the movie office, Die Hard 2, starring her husband Bruce Willis, was also a big hit. Their flicks were the top 2 films in theaters simultaneously at one point. It was not until 34 years later that another married Hollywood couple experienced this. The success of Ghost also earned Moore a Saturn Award for Best Actress and a Golden Globe nomination, demonstrating the widespread appreciation of her work among fans and critics. The film was more than a romantic tale. It was a first for Hollywood, combining comedy, romance, and supernatural themes. Its popularity demonstrated that original films might still be huge successes. In the years that followed, Ghost continued to excel in significant roles. This encouraged directors to experiment with more imaginative storytelling. She co-starred in the 1992 film A Few Good Men alongside Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. In addition to earning nearly $243 million globally, the picture starred Lieutenant Commander Joanne Galloway, demonstrating her ability to compete in a serious, male-dominated film. Moore played the lead in the 1993 blockbuster hit Indecent Proposal, which made around $267 million on a $38 million budget. The film posed an intriguing query. For $1 million, would a married woman have an affair with a stranger? Moore portrayed Diana Murphy, and her portrayal sparked heated discussions about relationships and ethics. However, the role was also criticized. That women were viewed in the film as property. One of the most difficult periods of Moore's career, she subsequently stated, was the criticism she encountered during this period. She continued to take on daring parts in spite of this because she believed they allowed her to question what society expected of women. 2 contentious films released in the mid-1990s gave Moore's career an even more precarious turn. In 1996, she played a stripper in the film Striptease. Because of its bold subject matter and Moore's naked sequences, the film received a lot of attention. She was the best-paid actress in Hollywood at the time, receiving $12.5 million for the role. Then Moore starred in G.I. in 1997. Jane. Her role in this movie was that of the first female Navy SEAL. Moore shaved her head on camera and performed a lot of her own stunts in preparation for the part. She worked hard in her training, too, increasing her muscle mass and reducing her body fat to 10%. Moore's 2 roles revealed opposing aspects of him. She accepted her femininity and sexuality in Striptease. In G.I. Jane, she adopted a gruff, male persona. Discussions over Hollywood's gender roles were triggered by this. After giving this some thought, Moore stated that portraying a soldier disturbed men and portraying a stripper upset women. Despite the uproar these films generated, Moore's star power increased as well. However, the public scrutiny and criticism had a profound effect on her. Moore revealed in her 2019 memoir that this time period signaled the beginning of a difficult phase in her personal life, characterized by challenges with substance misuse and body image. Demi Moore's life changed dramatically when, at the age of 17, she wed musician Freddie Moore. This took place on February 8, 1980. Love was not the reason for the marriage. It had more to do with getting away from the hurt of losing her stepfather. Years later, she acknowledged this in her autobiography, Inside Out. The night before the wedding, in fact, she was on the phone with another man she had met on a movie set, rather than feeling delighted or excited. It seemed like the marriage would fail even before it began. She decided to use Freddie's last name as her stage name, which followed her throughout her career. They even collaborated on a few songs during their marriage, including The Minor. Success, it's not a rumor. But it was a difficult relationship. Demi was still very young and still figuring out who she was in this adult relationship. Later on, she said that she knew deep down that the marriage wasn't right and wrecked it herself. When it ended in 1985, it had a profound impact on her, changing the way she viewed herself, love, and trust. But Demi's romance with Bruce Willis began like a scene from a movie. When Demi was engaged to Emilio Estevez, another actor, they first met at a premiere in 1987. There was no denying the connection between Demi and Bruce. Bruce proposed 4 months later while they were attending a boxing bout in Las Vegas. They were married immediately on November 21, 1986, although it was impetuous, it temporarily succeeded. They became one of the most well-known couples in Hollywood. With Die Hard, Bruce was a rising star, and Demi was one of the best-paid actresses in history. Between them, they had 3 daughters. Scout was born in 1991, Tallulah in 1994, and Rumor in 1988. However, they were frequently separated by their jobs and held divergent views on family. Although Bruce wished Demi would spend more time at home, she was setting records, making $12.5 million from strip tops, and had no intention of slowing down. For a long period, they were able to maintain their closeness despite the difficulties. After 11 years of marriage, they chose to divorce in 1998, despite having co-starred in the film Mortal Thoughts. Theirs was a fairly amicable divorce, in contrast to many in Hollywood. They continued to be friends. They attended each other's weddings later on and co-parented their children. Their blended family became a symbol of the mutual support that divorced couples may still provide for one another. During all of this, Demi's greatest struggle was juggling her work and motherhood. In 1988, she didn't slow down when she was the subject of rumors. When she appeared on the cover of Vanity Fair in 1991, she made waves by posing nude while expecting Scout. It was an iconic picture, making it clear to the public that becoming a mother did not entail body shame or hiding. She put a lot of effort into balancing her family and profession. On the set of G.I. Jane had her youngest daughter's nursery constructed. But despite her efforts, she frequently felt bad about not being more present. Her decision to leave Hollywood and relocate to Idaho after her breakup with Bruce was a major one. She desired for her daughters to live ordinary lives away from the limelight, even if it meant taking a break from her profession. This decision demonstrated her unwavering devotion to her role as a mother. Demi Moore first met Ashton Kutcher at the Charlie's Angels Full Throttle premiere in New York in 2003. When that happened, Ashton was 25 and Demi was 40. Even though they were 15 years apart in age, they clicked right away. Ashton's warmth and sense of humor drew Demi in. They spoke about their life philosophies and goals over an 8-hour phone chat within a day after their first meeting. Their quick-paced courtship began with this in-depth discussion. Ashton met Demi's ex-husband, Bruce Willis, and her daughters just 3 weeks after they first met. Ashton proposed to Demi just 2 months into their relationship, which was a daring and unexpected gesture. He arranged a romantic midnight lunch on Santa Barbara's beach and wrote the words "Marry me" with rose petals. A $250,000 5-carat Asher-cut diamond was used for the engagement ring. They had moved in together and even launched a production company, Catalyst Films, by the 4th month. Their success with Beauty and the Geek, their debut production, cemented their position as a Hollywood power couple. However, a devastating obstacle stood in the way of their relationship. When Demi lost her baby 6 months into her pregnancy, they were saddened by the death, but they helped each other through months of 3-time weekly bereavement counseling. As he subsequently stated, this tragedy helped him realize he was prepared to become a father, thus solidifying their relationship. Their 15-year age difference captivated the media and became a hot debate topic. The media went crazy when they made their public debut as a pair at Charlie's Angels. They were photographed by more than 200 photographers, some of whom were willing to pay $100,000 for a picture of them sharing a kiss. Their relationship was a common topic of conversation on talk shows and late-night comedians. With Demi being referred to as its poster child, the term cougar also gained popularity. In spite of the jokes, Demi and Ashton handled the spotlight in a lighthearted manner. Demi poked fun at the fixation on their age difference in a 2005 Saturday Night Live spoof while sporting antiquated makeup. Only 100 people attended Demi and Ashton's secret wedding in September 2005 at their Beverly Hills home, including Bruce Willis. A cream Brooks Brothers suit was worn by Ashton, while Demi wore a Lanvin gown. They reflected their spiritual values by exchanging vows under a Kabbalah chuppah. In a heartwarming moment, Ashton gave each of Demi's daughters Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah a Cartier love bracelet as a token of his devotion to his family after they read meaningful letters to him. The ceremony apparently brought Bruce Willis to tears. Following their nuptials, Demi and Ashton welcomed their mixed family. They acquired a house in Idaho and used it to throw themed parties and take family trips. With Bruce Willis, they frequently spent time together, co-parenting amicably, and even taking family vacations. Bruce said that Ashton was one of the few guys his daughters had told that they loved him. As Demi's daughter's stepfather, Ashton played a crucial role. He assumed responsible for raising 3 kids, ages 17, 14, and 11, at the young age of 27. He jumped right into the part, supporting their performances, going to their school functions, and even learning how to French braid their hair. Since love is a growing thing rather than something that is divided, Ashton acknowledged that he had taken parenting classes to better understand his role. By producing Rumor's film The Whole 10 Yards and assisting her in creating her first Twitter account, he supported the girl's hobbies. Scout attributed her love of technology and subsequent decision to get a degree in computer science to him. It wasn't always simple, though. Ashton's presence first bewildered Tallulah, who later noted that she wasn't sure how to accept him in a fatherly role. According to rumors, she even confessed to having a crush on Ashton prior to him dating her mother, which complicated their relationship. Ashton and Demi parted ways, but he stayed close to the daughters in spite of these difficulties. During her Dancing with the Stars performances, he openly backed rumor, and years later, he rejoiced when she announced she was pregnant. Ashton's enduring commitment to the family he helped create was demonstrated in 2020 when he declared that he will always love and support them. Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore were overjoyed to learn they were expecting a child. On September 23, 2003, Moore, then 41 years old and 6 months pregnant, had a regular checkup. Their happiness quickly changed to heartache. Chaplin Ray, their baby girl, was discovered to be heartless. After nearly 2 decades of sobriety, Moore was devastated by this loss. She attributed it to herself, believing that it was the result of her early pregnancy drinking and smoking. Moore was impacted severely by the grief. She started drinking and taking medicines like Vicodin to dull the ache after she grew despondent. Her weight fell to a dangerously low 98 pounds. The couple tried everything, including IVF, to conceive another child, but to no avail. Moore's brokenness only grew. She characterized this period in 2019 as being utterly disoriented and hollow, with no idea how to handle it. Their marriage suffered as a result of the miscarriage. Moore's suffering was beyond Kutcher's comprehension. According to her memoir, Inside Out, he attempted to help her but was unable to empathize with her emotions. Their relationship began to suffer as their emotional distance only deepened. Desperate to keep their marriage intact, they made some odd attempts. According to Moore's account, Kutcher requested that they have threesomes. She complied out of a desire to please him, but it made her feel guilty and uncertain about their partnership. Coming to the Kabbalah Center in Los Angeles and even coming to Israel for a spiritual retreat, they also looked to spirituality for support. Nothing worked. Things were made worse by Moore's battles with addiction, the urge to have a child, and their age difference. Rumors of Kutcher's cheating surfaced, which made matters worse. On September 24, 2011, their 6th wedding anniversary, Kutcher allegedly stayed the night with Sarah Leal, a 22-year-old. Leal had really given Kutcher her phone number in front of her and her kid at a bowling alley, where Moore had previously seen him. Moore was preparing for a red carpet event when she received a Google alert on her phone regarding the incident. Kutcher confessed when she questioned him about it. Moore claimed she was unable to breathe because she was so shocked. He had previously cheated, she found out later, with Brittany Jones, who is 21 years old. Kutcher attempted to defend his behavior by claiming that their threesomes had muddied the boundaries of their relationship, which only made matters worse. Moore was much more hurt by this. The fact that the cheating was made public made Moore's situation considerably more difficult. A few days after the incident surfaced, they both showed up together at a Human Trafficking Foundation event. Kutcher had to stand by Moore while he talked. She was aware of what he had done, yet it was still embarrassing. Moore made the announcement of their separation on November 17, 2011. She claimed that although it was a difficult choice, she had to uphold her moral principles. It took nearly 2 years for the divorce to be finalized. The separation was formalized in November 2013, with Kutcher filing in December 2012. Moore subsequently said that the dissolution of their marriage had severely damaged her self-esteem and felt like a nightmare. According to Kutcher's 2023 interview, he felt like a failure after his divorce. They both had a hard time getting better, especially since so much of their suffering was displayed in public. After Demi Moore's divorce from Ashton Kutcher, her life began to unravel. After over 2 decades sober, she relapsed after everything changed, becoming a habit. When Demi suffered a seizure on January 23, 2012, while hosting a party at her Benedict Canyon home, things became really problematic. Inhaling nitrous gas and consuming synthetic cannabis were her habits. She was reported as semi-conscious and shaking when someone contacted 911. For Demi, it was the beginning of a very dark period and a terrible event. During the next 3 years, her addiction worsened. She began consuming up to 12 Vicodin tablets daily and drank vodka-infused Red Bull. Additionally, she was fixated on her body, spending hours staring at the mirror and persuading herself that she needed to lose weight. She only weighed 102 pounds because of how severe her condition had gotten. She was barely able to survive due to seizures brought on by stress, fatigue, and improper nutrition. Demi experienced extreme isolation throughout this period. She spent most of her time alone and shunned her friends and family. In addition to missing her daughter Rumer's 30th birthday, she stopped attending other significant family occasions. Demi eventually checked herself into a posh recovery facility in Utah called Cirque Lodge around September 2012. It was an essential step to begin her recovery, but it came at a monthly cost of $150,000. Demi's addiction had a significant impact on her relationships with her 3 daughters, Tallulah, Scout, and Rumor, in addition to harming her personally. For 3 years, Demi and her girls didn't communicate because of how horrible things had gotten. Tallulah described how frightening it was, adding that she was only 25 at the time. She claimed that her mother changed and started acting like a monster. Every time Demi's behavior changed, such as when she slowed down her speaking or became too friendly, she recalled feeling nervous. As a result of the stress, Tallulah even developed an eating disorder and problems with body image. The 31-year-old Rumor was upset and devastated. It was as if something valuable had been taken from her by her mother's addiction, she claimed. She also described the horrific time she had to contact 911 in order to save her mother's life. Scout, 28, thought her mother didn't love her and felt abandoned. In 2012, the 3 sisters finally ceased communicating with Demi completely. They didn't even attend her 50th birthday, and Demi missed important life events like Rumor's 2015 Dancing with the Stars participation. Their relationship had been strained for years, but on November 12, 2015, things began to improve. Tallulah, the youngest, had recently left treatment after battling an eating disorder and substance misuse. She courageously made the decision to contact her mother. They hadn't seen one another in nearly 3 years until now. Demi wasted little time. To meet her daughter, she immediately took a plane to New York. Their relationship wasn't easily restored. The family discussed the difficulties they had faced in a 2019 Red Table Talk episode. Tallulah claimed to have felt deserted. According to Rumors, she used to get panic attacks just thinking about seeing her mother. Scout acknowledged that she was enraged and bitter. Demi accepted responsibility and acknowledged the terrible harm her battles with addiction had caused to her family. She put in a lot of effort to make things better, attending family counseling and therapy for 18 months. During a week-long retreat in Arizona in 2017, they made a significant discovery. Together, they practiced meditation and emotional healing techniques. Things between them are a lot better now. As a family, they work on projects together, support one another on social media, and take vacations together. Demi was shocked by her daughters in 2022 when they got matching tattoos of the word mother in her handwriting for her 60th birthday. It was a lovely method of demonstrating their growing intimacy. Bruce Willis and Demi remained close even after their marriage ended in 2000. They have demonstrated that a family need not disband after a divorce. Demi was among the first people to share the news and offer her support when Bruce's family revealed in 2022 that he had aphasia. Ever since, she has been there for him, spending time with Bruce and Emma Hemming Willis, his wife. Demi celebrated Bruce's 68th birthday in 2023 with his family. Even a cute video of everyone singing Happy Birthday together was shared by her. It went viral and demonstrated how close they are to one another. Demi even appeared at Bruce's Comedy Central roast in 2019 and joked about their history. "I was married to Bruce for the first 3 Die Hard films," she explained, which makes sense given how bad the last 2 were. People adored being able to laugh about their past. Additionally, they've helped each other out in their new partnerships. In 2009, Bruce and Demi were both present at Bruce's wedding to Emma. Back in 2005 to Ashton Kutcher. Their children have valued the way their parents remained affectionate and respectful. According to a rumor, the greatest example of love she could have hoped for is having divorced parents who still show affection for one another. At 62, Demi has a very different perspective on love. In 2024, on her birthday, she told Vogue that she had discovered that her relationship with herself was the most significant. She feels whole on her own and doesn't require anyone else to complete her. For her new way of life, she even coined the phrase solo partnering. It indicates that she is putting her own development and pleasure first. She is open to love if it comes her way, but she is not seeking a romantic companion. This concept gained so much traction that, immediately following the interview, the hashtag solo partnership started trending on the internet. Additionally, Demi's dating style has changed. She only went on 3 dates in the last year, and each one was well planned. She met the astrophysicist at a TED Talk, for example. In the Mojave Desert, they went to observe the stars. Demi claimed it wasn't romantic, but because it was so significant, it was a moment she will never forget. It's surprising to learn that Demi has also gotten to know Ashton Kutcher's wife, Mila Kunis. In fact, they formed a book club and get together to discuss literature and life every 2 weeks. Demi's growing maturity and forgiveness are adored by her fans. Regarding the future, Demi is now certain of her desires, but she hasn't ruled out love. If she does find love, it will be with someone who enriches her life rather than someone she feels she must have to feel whole. They also have to adore Pilaf, her dog, who has more than 2 million Instagram followers and is a minor celebrity.